Alright, what up, what up? This Black Terminator, the bullshit exterminator. But what I'm gonna be talking to y'all today is kinda like off topic of working out. This video is gonna be covering like basically like law of attraction, um the universe and synchronicity. And you know, this is something that never was brought to my attention. Like synchronicity wasn't ever even in my attention. I was the type of person that I always believed in God. I never read the Bible. I didn't really believe in it fully because I felt like the Bible was something that just made to control man. But I believe there is a lot of truth in it. But I don't like being lied to. And I feel like you shouldn't have to dig to find God. Why you just telling the story how it is? Like it just stains. And plus when I did read the Bible, I felt like I couldn't read, and I'm an awesome reader. And I know they say, oh, you have to get a different version of the Bible to understand it, like basically to dumb it down for you or something. And like, why go through all that? Like why just not tell me the story about my Creator for truth? But back to our subject, about synchronicity. Okay, it's like I've been having a rough path down my life. For me going through Katrina, stuck in Katrina, and when I get out of Katrina, it's just I end up in Texas, and I had a family, and I always worked, but I didn't know how to hold myself together too well. Like establish, like keep my money like managed right until I got older. But back then, so it's like I kind of juggled around. I always had a home, but I always wasn't efficient. But it's different now, But because I wanted to have fun and party and everything. But it's like I never paid attention into my life, but I always felt like it was something in me. I've always felt like it was something in me that was just different from a lot of people, because I seen how people act and I seen how they move. And it's like, yeah, I think like that, and yeah, sometimes I move like that, but it's by choice. A lot of people do things like that, and it's like them, like what I'm trying to say is like, it's like the things that people done in my heart, I felt that, man, I wouldn't do that shit. Like, that's cruel. Like, it's just, so I always felt there was something different about me, and just I'm a very high energy person. So it's like sometimes I rub off as like overhype, or sometimes a little aggressive to people, which I'm not. I'm just being myself, and I'm not gonna tune myself down to make anybody feel comfortable. That is not gonna happen. It's like I know how to keep myself at a bay, but if you want me to change something about myself, it would never happen for you. It only for this man here, and for my kids. But still, me, my personality, I love it. And I would never let nobody ever fucking make me feel uncomfortable about that. So back to what I was saying, synchronicity. I worked for a company. It was like under a church, and it was like a free funded thing. But I did maintenance and make ready, but a little bit of maintenance. But I was doing make ready at the time, and then I knew this dude. He did tattoos, and he came and like borrowed the air pump from the maintenance shop. I let him borrow it. He had it for about 2 days. Never brought it back. He had it for 2 days. I went to go get the pump back because I wanted to pump my son's balls up because he was like playing football. So I airball the football, take him on routes, in the park and go run his routes and everything. And but when I'm gonna go get the pump back from him, I see him walking down the street. Walking down an apartment complex, and I went to go get the pump back from him. Asked about the pump. He was like, oh, Frito, this dude named Frito that he knew had the pump, and he got caught in downtown Fort Worth with a suitcase full of meth and the gun and all in the night, and he gone, bro. So now the pump is gone, the air pump is gone. It wasn't mine till really long out in the beginning in the first place, but I was young and dumb, but yeah. So I continued to walk and talk with this guy, and I just know him for doing tattoos around there. I wanted a tattoo from him, and as I walk and talk with him, I got slammed down by the task force. They pulled up, get on the fucking ground, fucking woman. Boom, slam my ass on the ground, man. And I'm like, bust my shit, and I'm like, man, what I do? Well, come to find out, the dude so big time myth, he was with Aaron Brotherhood. I didn't even recognize tattoos, none of that. I'm not okay, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You know, so it's really, he just seemed cool. He did what he did tattoos. I was a maintenance. I kind of knew everybody in the complex. So I got in trouble from talking to the wrong motherfucker. But really, I didn't get in trouble. They let me go. Because my story ended up checking out. You know, basically, I just told them I was going to air pump and everything, such. And then they already had a list of people that they wanted in the apartment that was selling drugs and everything. And they let me go. But I ended up getting fired, right? Because I was maintenance. And the make ready, I ended up getting fired. And by the time, but if you maintenance, I'll make ready anything working for the apartment complex. If you live in an apartment complex, you have 72 hours to get the fuck out. That's protocol. So it's like no 30 days, no like eviction notice, no none of that shit. You have 72 hours legally get the fuck out because you know everything about the property. So that's what happened. And this motherfucker said they weren't gonna give me time and everything because they knew I ain't had nothing to do with nothing, So it's like it didn't. These motherfuckers wanted me out, then ordered a writ on me, bro. That fucked me up right there. That like fucked my head all the way up. That ain't never happened to me before. Like my shit was sitting outside. I got my shit in the storage. And I ain't have much money, but I paid for a hotel for a week. It was like I was all fucked up about it, you know what I mean? I didn't know what to do. I was young, I had a fam, it was like just talking to the wrong person. And I started to like call for God a lot around this time, and it's like I really meant it, and I always had God in my heart, but it's like I was needing direction. And it's like I didn't know where to go, and I knew he could put it in my heart, and I listened very well. Like I'm a person, I like nature, I feel like how the wind blow, how trees move, how certain animals come towards you, certain different signs. I always was like on with that, So it's like, well, I ended up moving down here, blah, started playing, getting myself together and everything. Still kind of like having my little party life, being young and dumb. And then kind of after a while, I started converting. I'm like, man, let me get serious, And then once, I started getting serious, and I started like really just reaching out to God, Still kind of just living, what they call the matrix and everything still, but reaching out to God, but still trying to find Him in some kind of way and better myself and my mind and my soul, and still not going to church. And I believe church is within the heart, as long as you believe. But yeah. But anyways, years passed by and my brother came out here, and at this time I've been seeing like numbers. First it started with 504, and I'm like, oh, I'm from New Orleans, like, damn, I always see this number, like they're telling me to go back home. I didn't know what the hell that was about. I guess it was just to get my attention. You know what I mean? I don't know. Because I was thinking about moving back home. Hey, baby girl.
I want my kite.
Your kite?
Mm-hmm.
It's not windy enough to fly kites, baby. It's not good. It's gonna rain. I don't think it's good to fly kites. Daddy coming. Daddy telling a story. Okay, I love you. But yeah. But at that time, where was I? My daughter threw me off track. And I was down here and just like, I started saying 504 a lot, and it's just like, it started to, it just like, to get my attention, I believe, and I was like, babe, why I'm seeing the number? She's like, I don't know, but every time you turn around, it was 504, or some random, sometimes it was 405, but it was still those numbers, and I'm like, it's crazy. I guess it was just to get my attention, and then I just kept seeing like 222, 1111, 333, 555, 444. Like I'm seeing 5, all these fucking numbers, like, 123, 1234, like I'm just seeing things in synchronicity, 12, 12, 10, 10. I'm seeing all this, but mostly like the triples, and like the 222, 11, 11s, 22, 22 is a big one, 33, 33 was a huge one. I'm not really seeing those much too more. It's mostly 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 11, 11, a lot of 1, 1, 1. That's the ones I'm seeing a lot. But a lot every day. I'm not going to say frequent, but every day, consistent. Like, and it's like I didn't know what this was, right? And my buddy came down to visit, and he was into like meditating, and I was like, I wanted to get into that. It's getting cold, man. But he was into meditating, and I wanted to get into that. And it's like I'm getting kind of a little butterfly telling the story, because it's like and I don't really talk about it much, so it's kind of like I'm just putting it out there. But and I'll tell you before, what made me believe more in God too. It's kind of a bad thing that happened, but I'll let you know. And it's like let me finish telling this story. And so my brother, like, he came down here, he was getting into meditation and everything. So we sat right here on this carpet, and he started doing the thing with the chain, with the woo, with the ball. And like, I'm meditating, I'm trying to block things out of my mind and everything like that. And I'm like, man, this is cool. I like that sound. It kind of grasped me in, and I kind of felt relieved that, like, just chilling with my brother, and, it was like a new thing, and I'm into it, he into it too, like, he just been doing this stuff, and I didn't have a known, because, he kind of did it privately. And then, so I started telling him, I said, man, I be like, seeing like triple digits all the time, you know what I mean? Like sync, like just numbers in sync. He was like, what? He said, for real? He said, what you see? And I told him, I was like, oh, 211, and all. He was like, and he's like, and all that, all that numbers. He was like, man, he said, God is with you. He said, you know that? And I was like, what you mean? And I knew nothing of this, you know what I mean? Nothing of this. This is how I believe this is real, dude. Like, law of attraction and your energy and this third eye they're talking about, I believe is so real, So it's like, he telling me, like, man, he like, look it up. He was one of them type people, he's just not going to sit there and explain to you, even though he could. He wanted me to educate myself, so he gave me some sites to look up. Hey, hold on, baby. He gave me some sites to look up. And as I looked these sites up, as he left, we spent our time, he left, and I went to these sites up, and it just amazes me how, like, everything they was talking about, like, but these numbers was relating to me, and it's like, I still was seeing these numbers, so it grasped me in a way to make me feel like God was really with me. Like, this is his way of talking to me. He's like, he's not telling me indirectly, but if I sit and pay attention to the last thing I said, the last thing I heard, the last sound I heard, or the last thing I read, or, like something, when I see these numbers, I look in between the lines and trying to find that answer, so it's like, and a lot of times I do, it's just, so I think I do, I want to say, but that brought me hella closer. Like, I don't mean to say that word, but that's just my dialect, but it brought me a lot closer to what I've been feeling in my heart all these years, so it's like all that synchronicity and, law of attraction and the energy of your chakras, I believe it's so heavy. Like, you just have to work on yourself and find peace and love within yourself and bring it out in real form, like, not fakely, in real form. And I believe you will find, you will find. And back to what I was saying, like, getting to that story, because I'm about to end this, because it's getting cold, I'm about to take my baby girl inside. But back to when I was getting to that story, what was I saying? Well, I forgot about that part. So, I done lost my train of thought. But what I'm saying to y'all, I believe it's real, and I'm a very logical thinker. And the way I move and think, I'm pretty sure it's not no different from the rest of you all out there. But in my heart, I feel like I'm very unique. And that's the way I feel, and no one else is going to make me feel any other different than that. And if you ever get a chance to meet me and actually chill and talk to me, you'll find out very quickly. Yes, I'm very different. Like, I'm very just verbal. And I'm very in tune with my feelings. I can speak them, and not have a problem, but still handle my business. That's a fact, and I don't know how to put that. I'm not talking highly of myself in that form to brag or nothing. I'm just like saying that's just me. I don't like talking bullshit to people. I don't like being the alpha of nobody. I just know me, and I handle me. I handle this. I control this, and I let the other people control them, and that's all I know. And that's how I stay happy. Even when I'm pissed, I find a way to be happy about it. I don't know, it just happens. People ask me, why you always got that damn smile on your face? It just happens. I don't know. Things I think in my head, I kind of like transition to another mode, and I kind of keep myself in a good place. Yeah, I don't know if I'm saying that correct? I keep myself in a good, happy place. How do I do that? I don't fucking know. I just do it, you know? I just tell myself, I'm alright, I'm cool. I don't let it bother me, you know? It's just, but with this synchronicity, what they call this woke society, they are really on something, you know? And I didn't know anything about the woke society, anything about none of this stuff until it started affecting me randomly, and it's been like 3 years already, and I'm still to this day seeing these numbers. So I believe in it. I believe it's a real thing, and these people are not crazy, and these people are not insane. And if you are listening to, you're not crazy, you just have to find it in you what your messages is. You know, what is it? You know, I'm still looking. You know, like, and who knows if I came up with the right answer or not. But every time I see it, I know for sure I'm in a good place at that time. I feel it. You know what I mean? And call me crazy, call me whatever you want to call me. I don't care. But I know what I feel. So, until the next video, I'm out. Black Terminator, the bullshit exterminator, but this wasn't bullshit. It was real as it get. Out.